YouTube, it's motomattman. How's everybody doing? Everybody doing okay? Hope everybody's healthy and safe from the COVID-19 or however you want to call it. But anyway, a little update here. We're in week number 4 of no school, no organized softball practice. Stores for the most part being closed, restaurants for the most part being closed, and the whole social distancing thing. I mean, we do have grocery stores open, Walmart is open, gas stations are open, obviously pharmacies are open as well. Let's adjust our mirror here. But for the most part, everything's closed. I mean, the restaurants can do delivery or takeout, but no inside dining, no sports, no gatherings of 10 people or more. Obviously, that means that movie theaters and so forth are closed, no concerts, no bars or nightclubs are open. It seems like most of the motorcycle dealerships are still open. You can have auto repair places open and part stores open as well. A lot of debate about whether or not you should be out on 2 wheels. I know there are a handful of states and some countries as well that it is illegal to be on a motorcycle at this time. I guess the thought process behind that is supposedly to minimize the beds being taken up in the hospitals and putting an undue burden on the healthcare system during this time. Now, that I guess implies that if you get on a motorcycle, you're going to automatically end up in the hospital. The fact of the matter is that per capita, more people end up in the hospital because of accidents in the home. People slipping and falling in the bathtub, people falling down the stairs, people cutting themselves with a knife while cooking, people out in the yard using a chainsaw or using some other kind of saw or drill, getting hurt cutting the grass. So I'll be perfectly honest with you, I think it's a bit unfair to automatically say that motorcycles are going to automatically end up with people in the hospital. You know, that also implies that you cannot get in a car accident being out and about. But here's the deal with me and my riding and Mrs. Motomattman's riding. We are riding solo. We are riding just for the sake of riding. We are not going anywhere on 2 wheels, such as a store or a park or hanging out with a group of people. You know, it is one person, we ride and we come home. It gives us that little bit of freedom that you're not going to get cooped up in the house. Now, I'll be honest, we do have it a little bit luckier than some others in the fact that we have a little bit of property. It's not much. It's not a big farm or anything like that. It's enough room for the horses that we have. You know, it's roughly 5 acres. The neighbors next to us, I wouldn't call them shut-ins, but they are, even though it's by choice. They're kind of like hermits. You hardly ever see them out anyway, other than like to cut the grass or do some chores outside. On the other side of us, we have an empty lot. And on the other side of the empty lot is a couple that are not home right now because he's working in Japan. So they're husband and wife in Japan. So you got to go a ways before you come to a neighbor. And I say that we're lucky because you kind of feel compelled if your neighbor's out and about to, you know, go out, talk, hang out. And when you don't have that, you don't have to worry about it. But anyway, like I was saying, it is not illegal in the state of Ohio to be on your motorcycle. It's not illegal to drive anywhere. You do not have to have a reason to be on the road, like I know is the case, especially in some other countries. We do not have that here. Don't know if it's that way in some of the states. Like I said, I want to say it's Michigan that I heard is limiting or prohibited the use of a motorcycle on the road. But I don't know of any states where it's mandated that you cannot drive unless you're going to get supplies, I guess you could say. As long as you're not like going and hanging out anywhere, I don't understand the need to get vehicles off the road. Yes, could it cut down on the number of accidents? Yeah, I guess theoretically, you know, that could be a reason. But again, like I said, if you have more people that are shut in the house and more people get injured that require a trip to the hospital inside the home than on the highway, then it would make more sense to tell everybody to get out on the road, get out of the house. But our governor has encouraged people to get out and about, to go for walks, go for drives, get exercise, but not just exercise your body, but also exercise your mind, and trying to keep up your mental state. And I'll be honest with you, a nice ride out through the country, drive out through the country, can calm a lot of people down. I mean, it's something that my family enjoys a lot. We don't do it as much as we used to, mainly because when we used to do it all the time, it was on the weekends. And as I've said before, typically our weekends, when we're not asked to stay home, our weekends are taken up with softball tournaments during the warm weather. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but I was careful about my choice of words, was saying asked to stay home. We are not in quarantine. Quarantine is an entirely different thing, where you are required to stay in and away from people. Usually because you are already sick, or in some cases you're put in quarantine when you travel somewhere else to make sure that you're not contagious and make sure that you're not going to get someone else sick. You know, and I hear people talk all the time about, you know, we're in quarantine. Well, at least in the state of Ohio, we are not in quarantine. We are asked to stay home, to stay 6 feet apart from one another. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean family members, or like this couple that are walking down the road here, staying 6 feet apart. But you're asked to stay 6 feet apart when you're around other people. I will say, like I said, schools, this is our 4th week of no school. Whoa! It is kind of breezy out today, and with that truck going by, man, you could feel it. It's our 4th week of no school. Our governor, a lot of people I'm sure are upset about it, but our governor jumped on the closing things and limiting things fairly early, before there was a true outbreak in the state. Now, Cleveland, and the county that Cleveland is in, has had the most, by far, positive tests in the state of Ohio. But when the governor asked people to stay home, he had a problem with the people in Cuyahoga County and in Cleveland with actually listening and staying in. And because of that, the majority of people that have been infected have been in that area, which is not that far away from me. But it's one of the more congested areas in our state. And people didn't heed the warnings. I mean, he had to get really nasty with the mayor of Cleveland, because there's a casino in Cleveland and the casino didn't close. When he said to close non-essential businesses, and businesses where groups of people would gather, the casino didn't close right away. So he had to call the mayor and get nasty with the mayor to get him to close the daggone casino. You know, and I've heard people make jokes about businesses being essential, you know, trying to find a way to make their business essential, but I can't see how in the world anybody could ever jump to any kind of conclusion that a casino would be essential. Wow, here's something you don't see every day. Somebody rollerblading down the road. Okay. Anyway, and you know, obviously the water park is closed. It wouldn't be open now anyway. It wouldn't be open until after Memorial, or until Memorial Day weekend. But I don't know that you're going to see it open at all this year, unfortunately. And that is an unfortunate thing, because you're going to have businesses that take a huge hit from this, and some businesses that may never recover from it. And that along with the deaths and illnesses is part of the sad, really truly sad part about this whole thing. I mean, it is a serious deal, and I know that, you know, you really shouldn't joke about it, but I'll be honest, there are times when joking about things, or the different memes that you see on Instagram or Facebook, I have no problem with that. I mean, I think everybody knows that it's a joke, and I think laughter is something that we all definitely need right around now. You know, something to keep our spirits up, like I mentioned before. The governor wanting people to get out and exercise, walk around, rollerblade like the woman back there, take your family for a drive, go to one of the many metro parks that we have. Playgrounds are closed, but the parks are for the most part open. Just maintaining that 6 foot apart distance. But exercising your mental health as well. And I think the jokes and the memes and stuff like that are a good way for that to happen. And I hope, I mean, I haven't posted anything like that, but I hope nobody really takes offense to those kind of things, because it is something that I think we need some laughter, smiling. You know, enjoy what we can. And I got a question for everybody. What is it that you're doing to occupy your time? Are you binge watching anything? And if you are, what is it that you're binge watching? You know, open for suggestions. You know, both things that Mrs. motomattman and I could watch ourselves, or things for the kids too. I mean, we've been going back through with Disney Plus and watching at the start of it, my kids, believe it or not, had not seen all of the Star Wars movies, so we started off with that, went through all the Star Wars movies. Now we're working on all the Avenger movies. We were trying to watch Doctor Strange last night, but I screwed up, and it was at the same time that I was trying to upload my most recent video to YouTube, and the Disney Plus, you know, operates on the Wi-Fi, so there was a bunch of it would start and stop. It was buffering, kind of like old dial-up internet. But anyway, you know, let me know, is there anything that you all are watching, binge watching, any suggestions? Let me know. But anyway, again, I hope everybody is safe and healthy and secure and whatnot, and making it through this. Remember, things will change eventually. We'll all be able to get out and about again. You know, it's a good time to work on some projects. Work on some projects around the house. Work on your bike, car, truck, whatever, hot rod, whatever you got. Take up a new hobby. Refresh yourself on an old hobby. I keep looking at my skateboard sitting in the corner of my bedroom and keep thinking about that. Unfortunately, as many of you have seen, my driveway is not paved. And I really, that's probably, has been so many years since I've been on my skateboard, that's probably something I probably shouldn't do to avoid the trip to the hospital. But my kids have been riding their bicycles and whatnot. The weather, thank God, is warming up. Hopefully it dries up again soon. But it has given it, at least we're able to get out of the house. You know, the kids are able to get out and play in the yard. Thank God for that. It would be a real nightmare if this was the middle of December, January, or February with the weather that we have, and having to be cooped up in the house. Yes, you could go out and play in the snow, but only for so long. I mean, they can spend hours outside at one time right now. So, you know, there is that to be really, really thankful for. But anyway, again, hope everybody is safe and healthy. If you're able to get out on tube, remember to keep the shiny side up and the rubber side down. If you like what you see, make sure you click that like and subscribe button. And don't forget to punch that bell so you get notifications whenever I upload any new content. If you haven't already, hop on over to Mrs. motomattman's channel. Take a look-see. She should be uploading something here shortly, I think tonight. And then she's got her 200 subscriber drawing video coming up soon, where she's going to announce how you can get in on the drawing, and then the drawing video itself. So head on over there if you haven't already and give it a look. If you like what you see over there, make sure you click that like and subscribe button as well. And remember, everybody, please try to have a nice day. And try to be nice to anybody that you come in contact with, especially right now, whether it's in person or on the phone. And remember, no matter how bad you've got it right now with the staying at home, being quarantined, whatever you want to, whatever you are, whatever position you're in, that there are people out there that are in much worse shape. You know, so try to keep them in your thoughts and prayers. Keep that in mind when dealing with other people. But as always, everybody, try to have a good day.